Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Black, White, and Red All Over. I'm Victor Dandridge, the hardest working man in comics.
I could be Ryan, but you can't tell because of my mask.
You'll never know. You will never know. We are in the shop. We're back. We're reading books. It is fantastic, but we're keeping safe, as you can see. Yep. So we're hoping all of you are doing the same. Okay, when it comes to the honorable mentions,
yes,
we've got one that's the same.
One is the same.
And we went all over the place.
Yes.
So please start with Night Hunters, please.
Oh, okay.
Please.
All right. One of my favorite, underground artists.
Okay.
I don't know. Is Alexis Zirit. I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong.
Okay.
Oh my God, this is so beautiful. Okay, this is what was not Space Hunters. It was Space Riders.
Okay. Yeah. Same company.
I think.
Let's see.
Yeah, it is so awesome. All right, so this one it takes place in a future that is part Akira, part Judge Dredd.
Oh, I love it.
And Blade Runner for like the different vibe going on.
Okay.
And it is a group of kids that's trying to survive the streets. Like it is super Judge Dredd. Like when you think of like the mega cities and that kind of stuff, it is super that. Yeah, right. All of that art should be a blacklight poster. It is. My words will not do justice to the beauty of this book, but it's like these kids, and there's like police that have tanks, which sounds a lot like like 2020. And it ends up there's father, two sons. Something goes wrong, and one of the kids almost dies, but he lives. But
yeah, he makes it. Come on.
But at a price, and it is super cool.
This is awesome.
Yeah, if you're into, like I said, Judge Dredd, Akira, that kind of like dark, overpopulated future where there's the haves and then everybody else, this is awesome. 100% like
world. Listen, Portland, Oregon. Man, I should have known. You guys have some magic in the creative waters out there. Oh, that's cool. Okay. Kind of cool, not quite as cool, but cool. Wolverine, Black, White, and Blood, number 2. Again, this is like an anthology series, so it's got some tip-top creators in it. Let's see, do I have a happy list that shows you all? Okay, so there's 3 stories in this one. So we've got Vita Ayala as a writer, we've got Saladin Ahmed, we've got Chris Claremont as writer, we got Greg Land as artist, Kev Walker as artist, and Salvador LaRocca. So this is a fun one. You've got some classic storytelling bits in here. Some are I mean, I don't know. It's kind of a weird thing. Like, I'm not saying that I like the first one better. Mm-hmm. It's just more of the same. So if you want, hardcore Wolverine being violent because that's where the blood comes from, there's a lot of it. It's really cool for that. Yeah. I guess, I don't know, maybe for this one, I was expecting a little bit more graphic design involved, which is not quite there. Like, I didn't know that this was going to be the same stories consistently. Like, it's just, this is Wolverine being super violent and bloody, and that's what it is. But, I mean, if that's what your bag is, then... Yeah. I just find it funny that there's a lot of Scarlet and Gray, and there's a Wolverine on the cover. That just makes me happy. Go Bucks! So yeah, there you go. Sports balled it. Yes, yes. Thank you.
Yeah, we got robbed of that this year.
We did, man. We did. Actually, we lost. Did you see this? Okay, so apparently, the student newspapers had a challenge to raise $10,000, and they beat us. We didn't know about it. Like, I know I had no idea that this challenge even existed. Yeah. So the fact that we lost, you guys cheated and just didn't tell nobody. That's what it is. Because I saw for our end, only like 63 people donated. We were still like only short like $600. But I'm sure if this was a widely spread known thing, we would have trounced you. But it's all good. You're good. You're good. You want something. Good for you.
From Scout Comics.
Yes.
How can I say this without YouTube fitness?
I don't think you can.
Beep show. I'll do it that way. So we got the creative team of Adam Barnhart, illustrator Samir Smau, colorist Warnia K. Sabadua, and this is amazing. All right, so this is a story that takes place after what would be... Think of Trigon. Like, Trigon, super absurdly powerful, like ruler of a dimensional hell. But he shows up on our plane, Justice League, Teen Titans, whoever, always whoop his ass and he goes away. Mm-hmm. A similar sort of thing happens in this world, except the ass whooping goes the other direction.
Ooh.
So it is a world post-heroes. There are still people that have superpowers, but they are trying to either lay low, be a criminal and lay low, or just drink themselves into oblivion, which is what the Beep Show character is. His name is Legend, and he's kind of the Superman for this universe, and he's not handling it well because he was one of the people, and there's like this massive fight that we see where basically this Justice League type group is fighting the Trigon type character, and yeah, it is brutal. It's because you always see like in mainstream comics, like there's some kind of death trap and there's a way out, or there's some fatal flaw, or the villain isn't villainous enough and won't take that extra step. No, this villain,
he's going for it.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's
awesome.
like Miracle Man level brutal from like so yeah, it's very, very cool. I recommend it. It's really, really cool.
So if you were to rate this shite show and the scumbag, who is really the worst person?
Well, that's why I initially picked it up to read it. Because I'm like, okay, well, there's Scumbag.
Right.
Let's see if this is a different kind of like look at it. And I would say Scumbag from Image Comics Recommender, that person is an irredeemable sod. This dude,
Right?
I feel for him because he was in that battle.
Okay.
And I think about it.
He was broken.
Yeah, you're Superman. You not only cannot save your friends,
Right.
but the world falls apart because of you.
What do you do?
Yeah.
What do you do?
So,
Man.
yeah.
All right. So I took on the Immortal Hulk, number 41. Al Ewing, Bennett on the artwork. I got it because of this cover. The
cover's awesome.
I've seen this a couple times and it fascinates me. And I'm trying to figure out like why I love it so. Like obviously it's hilarious that the two of them are crammed into this seat at a cafe. But I really love the black mom aspect of her on the cover, and she's giving it to somebody without saying a word.
Yeah.
Like you're trying to figure out who's in more trouble, the person she's looking at or the person she's not looking at. And bottom line, they're both in trouble. Yeah. Like that's just it. And I was fascinated. So we've got this fight that seems to be a carryover from the last issue, because I have not read that. You know, I like to jump in randomly. And this is not Bruce Banner Hulk that, you know, Ben Grimm is used to fighting, and he's starting to get aware of what exactly is happening here, who he is up against in this moment. And it's a very enlightening sort of move, because these are two characters that have had like a hugely contentious relationship for years, right? I mean, who is stronger, who is better, who's clobbering, who's smashing, and this takes a very sweet turn.
Okay.
With some smashing. Like there's some it's not like there's not smashing. There's definitely some smashing. There's some clobbering. But it takes a very interestingly sweet turn, and I enjoyed it. So the darkness where this goes though. Oh my god.
Well, it's Immortal Hulk. Immortal Hulk's not a peppy book. It's
no, but this last image right there, I don't know. And
no.
If I saw this in a dream, I would die. Like
so there's nothing okay about
No, not at all. Not at all. And I'll be back. I'll be back for more helpings of whatever that is, because that's right. So last on our list, but mutual, Miskatonic number 2, AfterShock, Mark Sable, Giorgio Pontrelli, Pippa Bolin, Thomas Maurer. I got teased because in the first issue, I said it was Lovecraft Country, but for non-African Americans, like however you want to look at it. I mean, it is though. Like I don't know any other way to put it, and it's not a diss.
Yeah.
It's not a diss. It just seems to function and focus on a different demographic of reader. I liked it though.
Yeah, it's one. It's very much a lot of Easter eggs for longtime readers of Lovecraft's work, which are like, oh, it's this story and that story. One of the things I find fascinating about it, and I'm curious to see how long the story will go. I wonder if they're going to take us beyond Lovecraft's work. If they're going to start working in adding on, because it's kind of a collective, kind of like the SCP Society, where anybody can write a Lovecraftian story, and it adds to that mythos and builds. And I'm really looking forward to seeing with this creative team, artists, the pencil, like everybody involved.
How do they build beyond this?
Yeah,
that's a good point.
Because the way they're doing it, like some of the stuff, the artwork is just, it's dreamlike, and it's which is the horrifying part about some of Lovecraft's work is it in theory something could be awesome, and look wonderful, but it's actually the worst possible thing.
Like the last thing that you want to have happen.
And yeah, this one's, I really dug it too. Yeah. And it's one, I mean, if you're a Lovecraft fan, I don't know why you're not reading it. And if you're interested kind of in that, you watch Lovecraft Country, this is another step in. And one of my favorite, like there's a couple stories in it. But one of my favorite is
that what the Krizap, we'll have to talk about this, like, because I had questions and I'm not well versed enough in Lovecraft to know, but so there is a connection between these two things. Yes. Kind of. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's all I need to know.
Yeah. It's one. My Stace woke up one time when I was watching a live action version of that. Oh. And she was just like, "What the shit?" And I'm like, oh, "Let's go. It's okay. Go back to sleep."
No, it's fine, sweetie. It's fine. I love you. I love you so much. What would I do in the dark when you're asleep? Don't judge me.
Don't wake up.
Don't judge me. I mean, that happens.
Yeah.
That happens. Okay. So we've got all three the same?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Okay, this is going to sound weird, but let's go in order of punches. So lightest to hardest. What do you think?
Yeah,
can we do that?
That works because it's the one is so sad.
So in order of punches, the one that hits the lightest. And this is so ridiculous to say that this is true, but on almost every level, it is. Kick-Ass versus Hit Girl number 2. Steve Niles, person, like, to say that this hits lighter, okay, lets you know how utterly ridiculously violent the other two books have to be. Okay, let me just throw that out there. Because in this book, we see Hit Girl hit some things, and we see Kick-Ass. Like, there's no two ways about it. These characters that we've come to know and love, originating out of the Millarworld verse, they've got a legacy to uphold.
Yeah.
And the idea of them crossing over and battling one another, you're expecting the body count to go through the roof.
Yeah. And
it's going.
And it does.
It is going.
Because we've got Mindy, who not only is just continuing her quest for violent, just bad guys have to be punishized, but like you've got this new Kick-Ass that she's become aware of, and this Kick-Ass is basically taking a dump on the memory of the original Kick-Ass.
As far as she knows, because all the things that she's doing, like, and that's the thing, like, so with Patience's story, we know that she is essentially trying to clean things up.
Yeah.
However, she's also fully aware that in order to clean some things up, you just have to control the bad. Like, that's her move. Is I'm going to control the bad to keep it from getting worse.
Yeah.
But that still means that in a lot of ways, you are a drug dealer, you are like a violent gang, and all of these things, Hit Girl is anti. Like, she is not about any of that.
Yeah,
so
Hit Girl is very binary. You're either a bad person who's doing bad criminal stuff,
or you're a good guy who's not doing bad criminal stuff. And I think that's the thing that I love about this series so far. It's still not the conflict that we are waiting for. Like, they're very smart in the way that they're building this, but the thing that I love is that it's almost like they're eliminating the classic joint superhero team up angle. Like, they're eliminating those first, which means, like, when they go to blows, like, it's just gonna be them. Like, this is just gonna be a bad situation, and I don't know who I'm rooting for more.
Right? Yeah, because that's the thing. I don't know, because
I don't either.
I want Mindy, because we've been reading Patience and like how she got into this situation, how she's trying to do things, and the steps that she's taking right now to extricate herself and
Yes.
and tie off these loose ends. I want Mindy to know.
But is it gonna matter?
Is it gonna matter?
That's the thing. Like Mindy is that one where she's like, "Yeah, cool story, bro, but I'm gonna kill you now."
And what she does in this, like, it's so.
That's what she does.
Oh my gosh, she is so. Like, oh my gosh, that's.
I love it.
She's one of those characters from Mark's mind that I find so fascinating because you're like sugar and spice and everything, and she is
all the other.
But like. It makes sense.
It totally does. And again, like the place where the confrontation at least starts, the evidence is there in a way that, how do you argue this?
Yeah.
Like, because that's the thing. Like Mindy is a character that you can't argue your way out of.
Yeah.
It's not going to work. So in a situation where you can't argue,
what do you do?
How do you get out of this?
Yeah.
Like it's terrible.
Yeah.
It's absolutely terrible.
When it goes close, how's Patience? Because talking's not going to work too well. Does Patience end up having to try to kill?
I mean, what else can you do? Like, you've got this little monster that's coming after you.
Yeah.
Unrelenting. You got to do what you got to do. So, yeah. Next up in the violent meter, just hits you in the feels. Post Americana #1. This is from Image Comics. Written and drawn by Steve Skroce, who I have loved since he's run on Wolverine back in the day.
Yeah.
He did conceptual work on the Matrix movies. So I've loved this guy. Colors by Dave Stewart. Lettering by Phonographix. Okay, Rye, you kind of put a scary thought out that the opening sequence of this is set in very near future.
Somewhere in fall of 2021.
We don't want this to be true, but man,
Yeah, it's
there's some things here.
It's definitely it's post-apocalyptic, which
Very.
is, I think, 10, 20 years from now, looking back on literature and art from this time period, we're going to see a lot of that. It's going to be a reoccurring theme.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's in one of those rumored bunkers that's supposed to be like where the power elite and other people will like write out a nuclear war or a pandemic or something, and that's where it starts. And it's just there's some we don't know. It's so freaking violent.
Yes.
I'm trying to figure out how to describe it without giving a ton away.
Well, yeah, because it's like, there's this group of people. No, dang it, that would give it away. Read this book, okay?
Yeah.
Because it's very difficult to talk about it without spoiling anything. We can say that post-apocalyptic, okay? That gives you a wide range, big berth of things. Here we go. Non-spoiler. Who is your favorite character?
Briefly, Rudy.
Okay.
Just because.
Not Rudy.
I don't know.
Since you said Rudy, I'm going to scoot over here.
I'm really curious about her because she's definitely BA.
She is. She has a very strong river from river moment from Firefly. So
That
that's
page turn that told me there's a lot
of stuff there. A lot of stuff there,
and a lot of story that we haven't heard yet.
He's my favorite.
Yeah, we can't say his name on air either.
FF. That's what we'll call him. FF is our favorite, and because he don't quit, man.
He doesn't.
Mad props to FF. But yeah, like this. I mean, it's like. I don't know. Escape from New York meets.
It's beyond Road Warrior.
It is like
it's absolutely beyond Road Warrior.
Yeah, like Mad Max Fury Road, but more. With like
because you got cannibals,
right? Like there's not enough for me. It's like a trauma version of of Road Warrior meets Escape from New York. If a trauma version of Road Warrior had a baby with Escape from New York, it might give you an idea of what this is. It might. It might not, though. Like there's okay.
That dude's outfit is on point.
Okay. The clothing choices are so Necronomicon, man.
Right?
Like that's I turned that page and I was like, you have got to be kidding me. That is some of the darkest. this dude does win though. Like
Yeah.
that's
His knee pad.
oh my god. I can smell this issue.
Yeah. Like it's you got nuanced good versus bad.
Yeah, yeah.
Shades of gray. Punisher. You've got.
I suppose this is nuanced. That's all kinds of. Ooh. Okay. And the coup de grace, the one that was the darkest moment, and ironically, not through the whole thing. Like as much as these were.
Yeah,
but
like those were consistent. This one,
yeah.
It is, as I said before we started filming, it inhabits a place, feel-wise, somewhere in between the peppiness and sunshininess of Mystic River, and the last couple minutes of The Mist.
Yeah. Which is my favorite Father's Day movie.
It really is.
The kids literally make me watch it on Father's Day because they know I hate the last 5 minutes.
Oh wow!
Yeah, they do that to me. Love my family.
I wish I had wish I had the fatherness to.
Oh my god!
To pull the trigger on taking care of my kids like that.
I swear I threaten them with it every year because I'm like, why do y'all make me watch this? Dad, we want to watch a movie with you. I'm like, I hate your cuts. I know what you're gonna put.
I know
on.
what you're gonna do.
Okay, so the Miranda brothers, again from AfterShock.
We begin to find out what this world is.
Right. But it's such a convoluted concept. Like, it's not just one thing has happened to this world.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that makes it so brilliant. It almost reads like an anthology of sorts because there's all these different facets of horror, like just terrible stuff that have happened. And they all seem to be connected, which makes it even more scary.
Yeah.
But I think out of all the things that we've seen, what we get introduced to at the end of this is the most horrifying thing I've ever seen.
Yes, because ultimately, no matter what is going wrong, that's the worst.
That is the absolute worst. They had time to build scripture.
Right?
That's dark, man. Like, that is the darkest thing possible. They had time to build scripture. And considering what the first issue told us, the targets all have to be, and that's just not okay.
Right.
That is not okay. So, yeah. I mean, okay. Would you describe any part of these first antagonists as Lovecraftian? What would you call them?
There's definitely this is packed with existential horror.
Yes.
We don't know, like, we know what we are told that this is, but it's something so much more than that.
Right.
That not only, well, maybe it's got some body horror to it, but it
definitely got some body horror.
There's the thing that, are you human? Are you no longer human?
What's that line?
Yeah. The fact that they're sentient enough.
That's
the most disturbing part for me.
That's dark.
And those poor kids.
But like, not all of them though.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing that makes it really creepy, because it's like only in a select case do they maintain.
Why?
Yeah.
That's, oh my gosh. And that the kids, because the kids are seeing stuff that kids shouldn't see
at all.
Like, not one bit. And that's one of the most
oh my god.
And the kids are just doing what kids do.
And he didn't even clean that spot up.
No, he didn't. That was that whole sequence. Like, what the heck is
right?
Like that? Like, who did you feed it after midnight? What the heck is going on?
Look, I mean, they said it kept going, and that's what happens. I mean, what did they say? It was, how long did they say it's been? 2 months.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that. That's bad.
But what I find fascinating is the reason why these are happening.
Yeah.
Versus in other places of the world.
Yep.
Is there like a completely separate
situation?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like, because in the other areas, because some of the it'll make sense when you read it.
Yes. Or it won't, but in the best way possible. Yeah. Where you're scratching and itching for the next issue.
And then there's.
But then, oh my god.
And when we get out of there, we're back to this kind of like it's nightmarish, but it's beautiful and
Right.
so beautifully illustrated. I'm like, oh, the lights in that area,
It's
like
so great.
this
Yay.
is really, really cool.
Opportunity.
And then yeah, and then those last 3 pages are just.
It's terrible.
That book is thick.
It's terrible.
Like, is it double spaced? Like, are there pictures?
I've never hated nondescript characters so hardly in my life. Like, because we don't know who they are. We don't know who they are. I don't think they've been referenced before, have they? Not that I can think of.
Not to this degree. And the people in the front row, we'll phrase it that way.
Yeah.
The looks on their face, the way they're drawn with not fear,
Right.
but acceptance.
Like they just know.
Yeah.
That this is what this is.
Yeah, like-
and there's no point the futility of fighting is gone.
And then the page turn reveal.
I don't even want to turn the page again. Okay.
But then what messes me up the most is with the potential cover art for number 4, where it's
In the dark. Isn't that dark?
Why do you do that to me?
Yeah, that one, that's a crazy read. So obviously if you like some wild, violent things for the holiday season, pick up any of these 3 for sure. Each one gets succinctly harder to deal with in the aftermath. Fantastic reads though across the board. This has been a good week.
Yeah,
I know we had to put a couple back. I had to put 2 back.
Yeah, this week was huge.
Yeah,
there were so many things. But we're coming into next week and the week following are going to be your Christmas and your New Year's.
Right.
So it's going to be, in theory, a much smaller, especially the fifth week. But
right.
every week this month, we're like, it's 5-week month.
Yeah, everybody's like, dump it.
Yeah.
Get out books that we didn't earlier this year. I don't know. Maybe that's the case. If you guys enjoyed this episode, please give us a like. That thumbs up gives us all the joy, and we absolutely love it. And really, if you want this goodness every week,
subscribe.
Boom.
It's that easy. Hit the bell.
Yep.
We'll get you in the inbox every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday. We're right here for you. Telling you what goodness that you want to read because we read it first, and you should trust us because we're not going to lie to you.
Yeah.
We are not lizard people.
Shut up.
I said we weren't.